If Obama was a white man, he would not be in this position. And if he was a woman of any color, he would not be in this position. He happens to be very lucky to be who he is, and the country is caught up in the concept. Those are not my words. Those are probably the now famous words of Geraldine Ferraro, the 1984 Democratic vice presidential nominee. If anyone's watched the news, read the newspapers, looked on blogs, you know that this has been the political story of the last 48 hours. And everyone seems to be jumping down her throat. Everyone seems to automatically be calling her out as a racist. But not me. I'm not going to do that because I don't think she is a racist. And I don't think that quote was racist, nor was it meant to be taken as racist. You know, I'll admit that the way it was written, the way it was said, it came off a little harsh. I'm not going to lie. I don't think the only part that was really harsh was the part that says he happens to be very lucky. I don't think lucky is a word you use to describe anybody, whether it be African American, Latino, or even white. You know, I don't think you're lucky. I just think that's how you're born. But other than that, I think she has a point saying that if Barack Obama was a woman, if he was a white man, he wouldn't be in this position. But I don't want anybody to take that as racist or offensive or derogatory because I don't think it is. You know, it's a point that I've made several times. A lot of people have come to think of me as this political guru, a lot of my friends, and they'll just come up and ask me, you know, why is this candidate doing good? Why is that candidate not doing well or whatever? And a lot of people ask me, what's up with Barack Obama? You know, just today someone asked me, how did he win Mississippi? You know, Mississippi is, this is their words, a very racist state you would normally think of. How did he win in such a racist state? And I blatantly said, well, he didn't win because of the white vote, he won because of the African American vote. That's a fact. You know, he only got 27% of the white vote. He got 91% of the African American vote. That's why he won Mississippi. It's the same reason he won South Carolina. You know, in South Carolina, he trailed Clinton and Edwards over 10%. By more than 10% when it came to the white vote. I think Edwards got 40, Clinton maybe 38, 39, and Obama was down at what? I'm not sure, 29 maybe, 30, around that area. So, Obama does a lot, should credit, I should say, most of his success to the African American vote. So let's look at the facts. Why is Obama where he is now? Which is, I think we can all agree, on the verge of becoming the Democratic nominee. And it is in large part due to African American support. Ask yourself, exactly how many primaries has Senator Obama won by winning white voters? The answer, not many. Certainly there's been a few, but not many. You know, he's won Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, now Mississippi, because of it. But it's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with someone of their quote-unquote own group voting for their own. There's a sense of pride with that. We saw it back in the 1960 presidential election with Catholics overwhelmingly flocking to John Kennedy. I don't think Catholics in 1960 were bigoted at Protestants, but you do feel a sort of pride in voting for their own. You see it today, in today's election with Senator Clinton and women. We saw it for years and years with white males voting for white males. There's just a sense of pride and almost ownership with voting for your own that I don't fault African Americans for. They see an African American, the first African American, as a real shot at the presidency, and they're proud. You know, they're proud that they've come that far, and they should be proud. They've come a hell of a long way. But at the same time, we shouldn't deny that it's happening. You know, if Barack Obama wasn't African American, he wouldn't be getting 90% of the African American vote. His message, his core campaign message, is not that appealing to African Americans, not nearly appealing enough to where he would get 91% of the African American vote if he were white. You know, maybe appealing enough to where he might, at best, split it with Senator Clinton. But he is African American, and it's something he should be proud of. You know, I, for a long time, even though I am a Hillary Clinton supporter, I should say, in full disclosure, I've always wanted to see an African American run for president. And it's something that I'm proud of, to know that this country has come this far. But I just want to say that I think it's horrible how Geraldine Ferraro has been characterized. She's really been attacked. The media, the bloggers, they've gone on a witch hunt, basically, against her. You know, it's really, really unfair. She was just stating a fact that Barack Obama, if it were not for the African American vote, would have not won South Carolina, which in turn would not have led to his momentum heading into Super Tuesday, which would in turn probably taken away some of those very close Super Tuesday wins he had, most notably in Missouri, Connecticut, Delaware, those states. That momentum came right after South Carolina, if you look in the polls. Hillary was leading in those states. And there's nothing wrong with that momentum. Again, I don't want to sound derogatory. But if he didn't have that momentum, like I said, he wouldn't have won those states on Super Tuesday, which in turn wouldn't have led to a sweep of the remaining February states. He wouldn't have had as much momentum heading into Virginia, Maryland, D.C., Wisconsin, all those remaining February states. And if he wouldn't have won those February 5th states, he wouldn't have had momentum heading into March. And again, this is March, so he wouldn't have been where he is now. And that's a fact. I don't think there's anything wrong with pointing them out. You know, and there are those who rightfully say that, wait a minute, Senator Obama's race actually hurts him. And to some extent, they're right. You know, I definitely think there are racists out there. There's no question in my mind that there are. But overall, his ethnicity, I think, his race is a plus, at least in the Democratic primary, where there are a lot of African American voters. There's no question that they've led to his victories in the southern states, without a doubt, has allowed him to win in very close areas, such as Missouri, where literally just a few thousand votes separated Clinton and Obama. And the African American vote did make the difference in that election, in that primary. So, yeah, it probably does hurt him with some whites in the South. I'm not sure how racist, you know, Caucasian voters are in the Northeast or out in West. I don't think they're very racist. Surely in the South there are some. But again, I think most white racists, quite frankly, are in the Republican Party. And if they aren't, I sure hope they get there, because I don't think they have any place in the Democratic Party. I think we need to be a party that truly is what the name implies, democratic, and treats everyone as equal. But again, I just want to say, let's not go on this witch hunt against Geraldine Ferraro, which she said was accurate. If Barack Obama was not African American, most of the wins he had would not have taken place. It's not to discredit Barack Obama. This is what I think people are missing. We're not trying to discredit Barack Obama here. If anything, we're trying to credit him with being able to galvanize the base, the African American base. He's run a terrific campaign, one of the best in history. But a lot of success is due to African Americans. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I don't think there was anything wrong with Ferraro's remarks. I think there is probably some truth in them, and people don't want to admit that truth. They want to think anything that has anything to do with race is racist, where in fact it's truth. But the truth doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't have to hurt. People make it hurt. But I don't think this truth was meant to hurt. I think it was merely an observation of the facts, which is due to the African American support. Barack Obama has won many victories that he would not have won if he did not have the African American support. He would not have had the African American support if he was not African American. I think that's a fact that everyone can see. So again, one last time, probably the 5th time I said it, please just stop this attacking of Geraldine Ferraro. Thank you.